If you're a real estate agent and you're tired of cold calling, door knocking, and spending money on ads, then subscribe to this podcast. We discuss leveraging the power of YouTube for your real estate business and how these strategies earned us over $1 million in GCI our first year in real estate. My name is Levi Lascsak and my partner is Travis Plumb. Let's get started.
In today's video, what we wanted to talk about was selfish versus service-based content. And this is something that we really feel is powerful in the fact that whenever you implement this on, video, especially on YouTube, then, you have a greater opportunity to attract business, because usually what we say by selfish versus service-based, the thing is it's not the fact that people are selfish intentionally. I think it just falls back on the reasons that we've pretty much been taught these ways forever. It's just it's a matter of this is the way you should market. So you think about it, now postcards have evolved quite a bit, but the thing is that postcards typically, or you even see business cards, it's just like the real estate agent, and it's, Levi Lascsak, real estate agent, buy, sell, or invest, or call today to buy, sell, invest. Or you see billboards to buy, sell, or invest in Dallas, or even magazine ads, number one team in Dallas, or highest production. You got to think about what information can you actually provide in those types of advertisements. There's really not a lot, because they come down to, you think about them in a way, they're thumbnails. Whenever you think about it, billboards, magazine covers, magazine ads, postcards, all of that, you would think about it in a thumbnail. It's very hard to convey a message and provide a tremendous amount of value in a very small, printed version of something. On top of that, it's like when people are out meeting and greeting and networking, they're saying, "Oh, hi, my name's Levi. I'm a real estate agent. Are you thinking about, are you thinking about buying or selling in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months?" And so, from those standpoints, that's why it's difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult to generate business. It's why, most real estate agents come into the business with less than $5,000 to their name. And whenever they do that, that's a very limited budget. And it's also, even if you put all of $5,000 into marketing and the real estate, there's a lot of people that don't generate any business from that, because if you put that into postcards, it doesn't get very far. If you put it into magazine ads, it doesn't get very far. It definitely won't get you a billboard unless it's somewhere in the wrong part of town, or the area of town you may not even want to work in. So you have all these factors where $5,000 is not a lot. Now, you could buy a ton of Facebook ads or Facebook leads, but again, as we've discussed in previous videos, that's an interruption platform on top of that. So you can gather a lot, but you still have to convert them, which of course you have to do that with any lead source. But again, Facebook being an interruption platform, not a lot of people go there to specifically search for real estate. So you can definitely capture people looking around, but they may not be in the market for 12, 18, 36 months. So, selfish based is whenever we think about it, we talk about it in the terms of a channel. In the channel, then in the channel on YouTube, most people's the first thing they want to do is they want to name the channel after themselves. And the thing is that when we researched YouTube before getting started, that became part of the business plan, is I understood that, first of all, Levi Lascsak is not a search term on YouTube. Maybe today, I don't know, maybe today. Travis Plumb, nobody's searching Travis Plumb, as much as we'd like to think. But that's where typically most people will fall, and they'll name their channel that way. Now, this also goes into why we've discussed about where most of the time listing videos will fail, because agents will post listing videos and the title will be 123 Main Street, Dallas, Texas. And the thing is that nobody's searching 123 Main. Nobody's specifically searching, addresses on YouTube. So that makes those videos extremely difficult to find. Now, we've talked about, we actually discussed that, especially in our course, about how to do listing videos, the best way we've seen them, and what's working well for us on top of that. And it has nothing to do with the address. There's a lot of different components that go around that. And so, that's the thing, is that people think, okay, Levi Lascsak, real estate agent, 123 Main Street. They're just thinking about the information to get out there versus what are people actually searching for? What are they looking for? How do you provide value? Going back to, whenever we make a video, and that's usually agents' first, inclination to make an introduction video on top of that. But But what value does that actually provide? If I say, hey, here's my intro video. My name is Levi Lascsak. I'm a real estate agent in Dallas, Texas. If you want to buy, sell, and invest, I've been in real estate for 15 years. I can help you do whatever you need to do. And I've done this and I've done that. I mean, everybody has a video like that typically, and it's usually the first video they put on their channel, and it doesn't normally get a lot of traction. But whenever we got started, what we were looking at was, first of all, nobody's searching Levi, nobody's searching Travis. We knew that, but millions of people are searching Dallas, Texas every single month. And then when you break it down to individual suburbs and neighborhoods, those are getting hundreds of thousands of searches per month. And when you combine that, you could put together any 5 suburbs in Dallas at least, and it's probably going to have over 1 million searches per month. Now, you may be in a smaller market, but that's okay. We were actually talking with one of our clients yesterday who really has been very inconsistent on, we get this question all the time about, does this work in a smaller market? But they've been a little inconsistent on publishing, haven't published in a couple of months. But here's the thing about a smaller market too. First of all, if you're the first one to market there, the first one to be on YouTube, guess what? You've got the best chance over anybody else, because if there's no other videos about your market on YouTube, you'd be surprised there is people out there looking, even especially in smaller areas. And think about it. They may not think about driving 30 minutes to this little town or 30 minutes to that town or 30 minutes to that town. And so being able to, position those properly on a channel, if you're first to market, even though it's a smaller market, again, you don't have to do the type of volume we're doing. You have to ask yourself, would 2 or 3 or 4 transactions a month change your business? And most of the time, for most people, that's an absolutely yes. So the thing is that this person is still getting business, even though they've also been a little inconsistent and haven't even posted for 2 months, which we do not recommend at all whatsoever. They're still getting business and closing deals, but also they were just recently told as well that was the main indicator of why they chose this person over another agent in the areas, because that other agent didn't have any content out there. So even though they got their advertisements or their postcards or maybe saw their mailers, they couldn't develop a relationship with that person either, because it's very difficult to develop relationships with people through print or through traditional advertising. It's through video that people can really get to know somebody, at least on the surface level. And what we always recommend, you have to be yourself. So don't be a character. Now, the thing is there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are characters, but at the same time will probably never meet their audience. So if they're playing a character on YouTube, that's okay. But at the same time, in real estate, we have the opportunity to meet our audience. We're actually probably going to meet our audience. We're going to work with them. We're going to show them homes. We're going to spend time with them. So you want to be who you are, but that is also the great thing about real estate or YouTube as well, is that, I think it really, for most people that are self-conscious about being on video, I think that's the best thing you can do for yourself, whatever the case may be. And because people see you for exactly who you are. So if you are the purple-haired real estate agent, guess what? Whoever calls you already knows they're going to be working with the purple-haired real estate agent. But and I think where I find this the most is people with English as a second language. They're always a little concerned, or not always. I'll just say the people that I've spoken to that have a concern about that, about English being their second language, about properly, helping out clients, or they're concerned about whenever they meet them for the first time, or whenever they call them because somebody responded to an ad or something like that, that they're just a little concerned about that. But if you make videos, and people are going to know that, first of all, so whenever they call you, they know exactly what you sound like. They know that English is probably your second language, and you have a better opportunity, I believe, to capture both markets, which is the English market and whatever your native language is because most of the time people pick up that native language if they're from the same country that you are or have the same accent that you have. And then they'll probably call you, speaking that language. And so you have an option. Now, if you speak in your first language, you're going to completely alienate, an English-speaking, client. But if you speak in whatever English and then they pick up that accent, they're going to pick that up. And of course, the people that call you, they want to do business with you. So all of that is really irrelevant. And so that's a great opportunity to do that. So ultimately, whenever it comes down to selfish versus service, we always think about what is our viewer, our audience, our client, wherever they're at, what are they wanting to see, looking for, searching for, and the information that will be most helpful for them. Me just telling them that I'm a real estate agent, I don't feel it provides them a lot of value. Sending out a postcard. Now, I think postcards this day and age have gotten very creative, especially with QR codes and other types of things that you could put on there to attract. And clearly people could scan QR codes. They could, there's calls to actions. But traditional postcards back in the day was just a matter of, hitting people over the head over and over and over and over again. We got a good friend that says that one guy finally called him because he said, I could toilet paper my whole house, with, or wallpaper, not toilet paper. He could probably toilet paper the house too, but he could wallpaper his whole house with the amount of postcards he got from this person. So that was effective in the manner that they finally called because of those postcards. But what it comes down to is that when people are searching on YouTube, what I love about it the most is that we capture people in the research phase. And normally that's before they've even decided to even hire a real estate agent. So whenever they consume multiple videos and you become their agent by default, that's the great thing about it is they will consume that content, develop the relationship with you on the surface. And then, once they reach out, it's game over at that point. They've already made that decision that they want to work with you. And so that's the amount of value. And we've captured this in video and audio and everything else. And we play these examples a lot for people. And it's really cool because they tell us all the time, we got a ton of value out of the videos. It was extremely helpful. You helped us understand. And here's the other great thing about it is people come to us with very narrow searches. So you think about most of the time, people are concerned about helping somebody that wants to see every single neighborhood and suburb in Dallas. But when people call us, they're usually like, hey, we've got this narrowed down to Frisco and Plano and McKinney based on your videos. Or, hey, we really just want to be in McKinney. Or, hey, we just want to be in Prosper. And the videos help them do that, helps them eliminate other areas. And that saves you time as an agent, saves them time. And then whenever they come in, they're very dialed in on a suburb, a neighborhood, a specific area. And it makes that process a lot easier. So we got a special guest with us today. By the way, Travis, my man, what you doing?
What's
what
up,
you
man?
doing? Chilling?
Just enjoying the show, man. Ready to provide some value to you.
Surprised you're not selling a house right this second.
Man, when you grow a team, you don't have to sell the houses all the time. The best leaders aren't necessarily the ones that produce the most. It's the one who take care of the teammates the most and make sure that they're producing. So it's good to be able to step out of it a little and, dive into some other things to help work on the business instead of in the business for sure.
Cool. All right. So what are your thoughts on anything I missed there on selfish versus service-based marketing?
I personally think, I've been in sales since 2010 and I've been in the car business where it's extremely hard to get business, like where you have to fist fight people for a $200 Mini, you know what I'm saying? So I think that, in the car business, that's, any sales job, it's a challenge to be able to get your clients, right? One of my favorite things about YouTube is the fact that since we have created all of our content around providing value to the community, when these people reach out to us, they love us, they know us, they are so grateful and thankful for us providing that information to them. And not only are they grateful and thankful, the conversion cycle on these leads is significantly less. We are converting, at about 43 days from the time the lead comes in to the time that we actually get them under contract. It's 43, 44 days. And a lot of times the only reason that is because people aren't coming in for 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks before they come in, but they are so ready and they're so in that buying process that when they come into town, they're ready to buy. 9 times out of 10, our clients are buying on the very, very first weekend that we actually, have them coming into town. Now, obviously, you have to make sure that you set those guidelines and expectations up front. But there's just so many things that I could say. YouTube is by far the most powerful platform in the entire world. I've done all sorts of advertising in Facebook and door knocking and cold calling. I've done all that, in previous careers. And, I just think that being able to provide value, people appreciate that so much that they just want to do business with you, and the conversion cycle is so much less. So it just makes it so much easier to, sell more quicker, I believe. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. And if you're watching online right now, then feel free. Hey, be sure to give us a like, a thumbs up, and drop some comments if you got any questions. That's the reason we're doing these is for everyone out there. We want to keep this rolling. We do have a comment though. Look at Solid Ground Method. Says, hey, your new 3 and 4 modules are fantastic. Thanks for taking the time to update them. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, happy to help there. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, for those that have access to our course, we just did a complete update on everything. So got some new information in there, and a lot of good stuff. Updated, got a new look. You might have noticed. You'll see it here. So yeah, I think they look super sharp, and happy to provide that. So let's see here. What's up, Chrissy? I probably should have given you a warning before I popped you up in there. I think you're on mute though. Is that you are? I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I was sharing the link. So
okay.
I wasn't in the window for a second.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I was going to ask you anything that's come up in the last week or so you've seen as far as people asking questions more frequently or wanting some clarity on.
Yeah, I've had quite a few questions around research, and I know we talk about this a lot in the course, but maybe we could go into some of the research that we do in order to determine channel names and to determine titles for videos and things like that, because we've gotten quite a few questions around that recently.
Yeah, so let me see. I mean, I think that's pretty simple for the fact that you just got to play around with it. I mean, this is something that we've talked about quite a bit. It's just search. You got to search for the right name, and people ask us quite frequently, what should I name my channel? Just like Chrissy said. And the thing is, the true answer is I don't know. I have no idea what you should name your channel because we don't like to guess on that sort of thing. And a living in channel does not mean that should be that for everybody around everywhere. That's not the case. And now that we work with people in the UK and Canada and New Zealand, it was pretty cool. I just got an email from New Zealand. So somebody reaching out there, they haven't made the brokerage there official yet, but they're working on it. And they said basically as soon as it goes live,
that's pretty cool.
They want to work with us, which is super cool. So we're able to help people all around, but we have no idea what is relevant for your city, your state, your country, as far as what should a channel name mean. But what it comes back to, you just have to do the search. And of course we go into that, which is very simple if you have something like TubeBuddy, that makes it extremely simple. Now you can go into Google Keyword Planner, that's a free software on Google, and do some search terms. I don't find it as thorough or as extensive as TubeBuddy, and the thing is that you're searching on Google. We want to know what's being searched on YouTube. And so if we know what's being searched on YouTube, that gives us a lot better chance. And what we've also shared is that what we found is that most of the suburbs and areas that we focus on here in Dallas get 6 to 10 times the search volume on YouTube than they do on Google, which tells us, people want to know what these suburbs, neighborhoods, areas look like, sound like, taste like, smell like. They want the full sense of what a video can provide to them. And so that's what they want to do. They want to search on there. So it doesn't matter. Living in, moving to, relocating, Dallas, Texas living, Dallas, Texas, there's a lot of different variations, and there could be different search terms that just pop up better. But what it comes down to as well, I've had multiple discussions with YouTube employees, which are always very insightful because they will talk about the algorithm and what is YouTube looking for and things like that. And ultimately what I've gathered from them is that it does help in naming your channel. But for us, it took us almost a year for our channel name to become a standard search term. So whenever people would search that search term, it would pop up as a preferred channel. So I do think that's beneficial over time, but in the beginning, it really does come down to the individual video. And the individual video, what that's titled, does matter. And if you have something like TubeBuddy, then you can A/B test different titles, and you can A/B test, and an A/B test just means that TubeBuddy will flip a title back and forth every other day, so that you can collect data on what is the best title. You can flip-flop a thumbnail every other day, so you can collect data on what's the best thumbnail. So whenever you're doing that, you just let the clicks decide. You let the views decide. You let data decide. And so you can have a good idea about, oh, this one may be better, this one may be better. And what we like is that, we have an editing team that provides a done-for-you service. But, the thing is that they are trained to make good thumbnails, but you might have something in your mind that could work a lot better, or you think it may work better. And I've had this happen several times where I thought, oh, I think I got a better idea for a thumbnail, but then the data comes back and no, the editing team actually made a better thumbnail, but it's also been vice versa. So where the editing team made a thumbnail and I thought, you know what, I want to try something different, and did that test, and then that thumbnail actually performed better. So it could be either way, and what we always try to do is remove emotions from anything and let the data tell us what it's going to be. So from that standpoint, highly recommend getting TubeBuddy, and then you can do the search. I mean, you could also do vidIQ. We haven't used vidIQ, but that's another software that you could download. But we've worked extensively through TubeBuddy, and that's helped out quite a bit, and just play around. So you want to put in everything and actually write it down, take a pad and pen or something, or make a spreadsheet, whatever is easier for you, and put in, living in, moving to, relocating to, and then put, Dallas, Texas living, Dallas, Texas moving, I don't know, Dallas, Texas real estate. I mean, you can name your channel whatever you want, but also I would highly encourage to pursue the name that has the most searches that will help out in the long run. So any thoughts you got there?
No, that's good, man. That's super solid, man. No, I mean, you got it. You nailed it.
You got it. Let's see here. So, Chrissy, are you still, I don't know, I don't think I have you on screen. Were you still there the whole time?
I'm here.
Yeah, you are.
But
there.
I wasn't on screen the whole time.
Yeah, gotcha.
I was in the background, so.
I gotcha. Okay, cool. So let's see. Let me see. All right, if you've got any questions, throw them in the chat. I think we just threw the link. If you're in our Facebook group, we just threw the link on there to join the live stream. I see somebody in the green room. We got Miss Allison. Are you there? I got to see. You got to pull the camera on if you're ready to come up. Oh, she's there. We know we can always count on Allison, right? So. There we go.
I'm gonna load it, of course.
1, 2, 3. All right. What? Oh yeah. All right. Here. This should cover us for the next 30 minutes. So.
Okay. So let me go back to this email. So I sent Chrissy this email. She probably was like, "Oh my God, this girl." So like I said, I live outside of DC in Virginia. But so DC would be my main city, and then there's the suburbs, which also include Maryland. But I'm not licensed in Maryland, and I don't really want to be. But so I went through the whole course. Then now I'm going back, and I'm doing the modules on video flow for show, and then also the blueprint. It's just fun. It's fun to say.
It is.
I think I named that one.
It is funny to say. Yeah, it's because we're pretty fly. Yeah.
Smile.
Yeah.
So I was gonna do. I'm confused if I should. Then I studied your channel, and your channel, you've got some different ones in the beginning. So what the video blueprint says, like the exact video flow, is the vlog of the most searched suburb, map video, pros and cons of the major city, which would be DC, and then veteran benefits. But then when I go to your channel and I sort from oldest to newest, there's the other ones that come up were 6 must-dos before moving to Dallas, top 5 neighborhoods of Dallas. So I don't know if I should do those I want to make sure that the algorithm is right and that I'm doing the flow correctly so that the algorithm likes me.
Gotcha. Well, I would recommend follow what we've put in the PDF, because what we did in the beginning, don't give away all of our trade secrets on YouTube though. It's no, I'm just kidding.
So this is not just our group, okay?
No, I'm just kidding. Oh no, we're live on YouTube as well.
Oh, hi. All of the billion followers.
There you go. No, so I mean, I definitely what we've laid out on that we found is probably a better format to follow. So you think about if you go back to oldest to newest, you could copy exactly what we did. I mean, and we've mentioned that before. Anybody could go to our channel, see, you've got content for days. We've got over 200 videos on there now, so nobody should technically run out of content, right? But what we include on there, I think I'm a little bit. What we include on there is what we found has worked better, a better format. So just because with what we did in the beginning doesn't necessarily, and things change, just like whenever we do updates, it's constantly evolving, but ultimately when it comes down to it, you're not likely going to anger the algorithm as long as you produce consistent quality content. So, those things, you could take everything that we've laid out for you and flip-flop them, put them in order. I mean, that's really the baseline for what works well in pretty much any city, area, suburb, but it's in an order that we feel is going to likely give you the best opportunity to get found sooner rather than later. But again, ultimately it's your channel, and this is what's worked well for us. It has worked well in some other cities, but again, hey, we all know that DC is its own. It's not even a real place, right? I mean, it's it's not even a real city. No, it's
She called the monument when she saw the banner I was trying to make on my own. She's like, you can put your face a little bit more closer to the pointy building. Sorry, I'm gonna call you out. And I was like, the pointy building? You mean the Washington Monument?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But ultimately the format that we're giving you there is to follow a flow. So what you also want to keep an eye on is if something starts to do better than something else, because even though you may start with a more searched suburb, your second or third most searched suburb may end up taking off. I don't know. Sometimes YouTube will pick up a video as well and just start promoting it. But, that for us, that took time. It took time for that to happen. And it took about 9 months before we had our first viral video, So it was
viral. Like how many people?
Yeah, viral is whenever a video just completely takes off and the views just spin out of control,
So it's not like over 1,000.
Non-baseline, basically.
Yeah. Well, if you look at, our channel, most real estate channels, real estate channels, unless you're, $1 million listing or something, or, Ryan Serhant has a viral video almost every time, right? But he has definitely had more videos that have gone viral, even according to his channel. So viral can either mean there's internet viral and then there's channel viral. So I think from what we talk about is channel viral. So for us, it took almost 9 to 10 months before one video hit 20,000 views in 30 days, which is a lot for a Dallas real estate video that is just made with an iPhone, right? Now recently, this listing video we had 3 weeks ago has done way more than that. It's like almost 50,000 views in less than a month. And that we've never even seen growth even from that. Now we also had another video in November, and actually videos after that just, as soon as we published them, they started to take off. But then after January, February, things kind of started to come back to normal, higher than what we were baseline before, but, kind of more normal. And then all of a sudden, that listing video, which we took our time, to really understand, how to do a listing video correctly. And the first one we did just completely blew up. And then, of course, we got 2 buyer calls, 2 specific buyers.
For your Dallas channel or your luxury channel?
For the Dallas channel. Yep.
Okay. I didn't. Yeah. Okay. And I have so DC gets like millions of hits on TubeBuddy. I want to say there was like,
I'm sure.
Oh no, 800,000. Mm-hmm. Whereas Alexandria is in the other search ones are like 500,000, and then the Arlington, Alexandria, like 500,000 a month, and then the other suburbs that I would list were around 300, 350. So, should I start the first group of videos on Washington D.C. and do like video of? Because the first vlog is vlog of most searched suburbs.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you want to work DC? Like Metro?
DC proper. I don't want to work. some areas of DC.
Okay. Yeah. Well, first of all, only make content on
Yeah.
areas you want to work, right? So,
Yeah.
but yes, I mean, if
That's where most people want to live.
yeah, I think DC's, clearly the search volume is there and it's probably going to be the biggest draw. I mean, I naturally, being former military, I understand Alexandria, and other than that, I couldn't tell you another suburb probably of DC, right? But I do know it has like the 7 out of the 9 most expensive suburbs around in the U.S. For some reason, I know that stat, but I don't know what that is, what they are, what they're named. And so I do know Alexandria, though, just from knowledge of that. But other than that, I think starting with D.C., if you don't mind working a major city area like Dallas, or D.C., then yeah, that's probably the best place to start because that's
Do you
where
work Dallas or just the suburbs?
No, we absolutely work Dallas.
Yeah.
But we do.
I mean, we pretty much work, we pretty much work the cities that we want, right? And the cities that we film. Like we go out to east, out to Forney, out to Rockwall. We go northeast, to Fairview and Lucas. Prosper, Frisco is up north, and then if you go northwest, we do a lot of business out there in Southlake and Keller and Flower Mound, and the places that we really don't do a lot of filming are the places that we really don't get a lot of business or have clients reaching out to us. So I think that, I think like what Levi's saying is absolutely on par. Really focus on the areas that you want to work, and just the consistency is going to be the key. Just outwork everybody, right? 2-3 videos a week. And then pick like your top 10 cities or suburbs or whatever it is that you want to work, and then do 5 videos around those top 10 areas that you want to work first, right? Your favorite areas. Do that's 50 videos, you know what I'm saying? That's 5-6 months worth of content right there. And then you can easily just move into other things, getting outside of those main 5 core videos that we suggest in the suburbs. Kind of like what we've done is just evolved and letting our audience tell us what they want. We've done surveys on the YouTube channel, and we ask people what they want. When we posted one of our, when we started posting $1 million listings and it went viral right off the bat, we knew automatically that people want to see that also. And also in reading in the comments, people are like, oh, this is really cool. We're glad that you're doing this as well. So we're getting good feedback from that, but the informational side of the business, I think, is the most important thing, because you can have 50,000 views on a video in a short amount of time. It doesn't necessarily translate to business coming from that one video. Although we did have 2 people reach out and one person really wants to buy that exact house, so we're in the middle of working with her to try to find her something in that neighborhood, because that house is not for sale right now. So, you just, focus on those core 5, top 10 cities, and just hit the ground running like that. And then you can even feed into your audience and get feedback from them on what they may want to see, and then give them that.
Sure. Okay. So then it sounds like what I probably will do, we'll start out would be like the top neighborhoods to work for young professionals and families to live in Washington, D.C. And I will also chime in there and say that, I'll just like high level the suburbs. And then the next 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be the first most searched suburb. And then go through like Alexandria, for example. And then within there, I'll talk about the neighborhoods, because there's neighborhoods within the city, right? So and then the other question was, when you do the price point videos, which video exactly are you doing price points for homes? Is that going to be in the vlog? Would it be in the vlog, or
it's a variation of it. So it's a variation of it. But also going back, kind of like what Travis and Richard mentioned, we do typically most of our business out in the suburbs too. So even though you may find that you can make, DC has the most volume of search, but at the same time, when people are moving to the area, they're probably starting their search in DC and then figuring out from there where to go. Just like for us,
exactly.
not everybody knows our suburbs. So, but they know Dallas, and that's the initial start.
Exactly. Okay. So you kind of put the price points within those videos. Okay.
Yeah, maybe I can bring a little clarity to that. But yeah, if you're doing a vlog tour, then you would want to hit, if you want to work $300,000 to $500,000, make sure that you hit a neighborhood that has 300 to 500,000, right? And then you can go 550 to 750, and then you can do another neighborhood that's 750 to $1 million. And that's one good video, right? That's going to easily make a 20 to 25 minute video. And I think that what was easy for me is like when Levi kind of broke it down, hey Travis, like you don't have to do everything in one take. Like when like I can do vlogs like really easy, one take. That was always easy for me. But what was challenging for me was doing like map videos. Or pros and cons was also kind of a challenge because there may be 10 pros and 7 cons, and I was really trying to focus on remembering like everything that I was wanting to say, but everything's just broken up, right? So you just spend time on your hook, make sure you get that hook right, then make sure that you perfect that intro like on your vlog tour, and then everything else can just be little 3 or 4 minute pieces. And then you give your final review of the market update or whatever it is that you're going to close off on that video, and boom, you easily have a 20-minute video. So I definitely wouldn't overcomplicate it. I think for me the most important thing was getting the hook and the intro perfect. You know what I'm saying? And then everything else just naturally flowed. So when you're going and looking at a $350,000 to $500,000 neighborhood, and you have a couple different homes within that neighborhood, you're just looking around and kind of just pointing out what you see and how you feel. And the individual properties, and then boom, you just go to the next one, 500 to 750 and 750 to $1 million, and then you close it out, and boom, you got a little video right there. And I think it makes it really easy to kind of split that up in my head, and I think that just made it way easier.
So then, because what I was thinking how to do the shooting just to make it most efficient instead of like running around and like having to remember something outside is just do a lot of the talking about the neighborhoods and what you can get for the price point and what they can find there, like restaurants or transportation, like in my home. And then I'll go out and take B-roll of what I was talking about. And then I'll look at the homes that are priced at those like maybe 3 different price points within whatever city I'm doing, and then just go take B-roll of me. I'll have to wear the same outfit, out in the neighborhood.
Yeah, well, I recorded 3 vlogs the other day wearing the same shirt. It's not something that I would be.
I love Dallas.
Yeah. Hey, if you got a branding shirt, then you can wear it. There's you see it. There's a lot of YouTubers. There's a lot of people that some of them just wear black. That's all they ever wear. They wear. I'm more of a blue guy, so I'm gonna wear blue. But the thing is that I batch record my vlog tours. So if I go out for the day, I might as well get 3 or 4 done. And I don't have any problem. The thing is that we have other content. You don't have to publish 4 vlog tours in a row. So, the next day I may come back to the office and record my 4 map videos. Now, clearly the next day I'm wearing a different shirt, hopefully, unless that night went completely out of hand, then from that point, I'm going to come in a different shirt. I'll record those 4 map videos. And the thing is, okay, so no big deal. And then there's probably going to be some published content because now we're publishing like a listing video, and the listing video isn't filmed at the same time either. That takes, because we're doing a step up on video production and videography, that's going to take 2 or 3 days to get edited versus, what we do in vlog tours or map tours is pretty simple for an editing team to just kind of piece that together. And so, the thing is that even if I do a vlog tour and a map tour of the same, let's just say South Lake, that's the latest one that came out. We didn't publish the map video until almost a week later because we had other content that was able to come out. And so you can piece it together. So those are the things that, just once you have that flow down and you understand it and what you want to do, it's just repetition. Everything's going to be awkward in the beginning. And it took me 4 hours to get through a vlog tour in the beginning. Yeah. And, I can do 4 in 4 hours now. And that's even driving around, getting here to there. It's extremely efficient now at this point. A map video, I do that in 1 take, but before it was like, okay, just kind of like this live stream. Now, if you go back and watch the 2 live streams before this, kind of a little bit of a train wreck. But
we get it down.
Yeah. Hey, the thing is that it's, you can't really watch a video on live streaming and go live at the same time and try to walk yourself through that, So it was just a matter of, well, we want to incorporate we want to do live streams, so you just have to do it. Now, the funny thing is that it's live for everybody to see, so, they can go back and I look at that and I'm just like, oh my God, we look like amateurs, but hey,
we're the YouTube guys,
you know,
not the
the
live
thing
stream
is,
guys.
They want it to be. They want to see the authentic.
Well, the thing is that as you progress in your video career, you're going to do new things. And so for us, you know, experiment. Actually, we've done a couple of real estate lives for our real estate channel.
Yep.
Super smooth. Everything was good. Worked well. And no problems. And then we get on here and we're like, okay, this issue, that issue, internet problems, yada, yada. I mean, the first live stream, I got kicked out of it. I mean, the internet kicked me out of it.
The main person.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's
hey,
hilarious.
wait a second. I'm running, you know, and that's the funny thing. I mean, even like when I do Zoom calls now, I have Chrissy on there and I make her the host because I've had so many situations where because I'm traveling and I'm on airport Wi-Fi or island Wi-Fi or, you know, what hotel Wi-Fi, never reliable, and I've been, you know, kicked out. It's just one of those things where, I'm just not worried about it. The main thing is get out, do the repetitions, get the proficiency, and then it all falls into place.
Okay, cool.
Hey,
I
and then
wanted to be the most efficient. The other day I was like, I'm going to do a video, and then I was getting the mic all ready, and that took me an hour and a half, and I was like, wow, okay, I should just take a step back because I'm not going out to do a video today. I need to get my rhythm, like my schedule down on how I'm going to break this apart.
So, and then, hey, yeah. Oh, I was just going to say, Kim and Lori Lynn, we see you backstage. So if you guys or gals want to come up, turn on your cameras so I know you're there, ready to go. So did that help out, Allison? I'm going to jump over to the chat. Did that help out?
Thanks.
Good?
Yep, thank you so much.
Okay,
Yeah.
You're welcome. Let's see. Kim or Lori Lynn, I see you in the background. So if y'all, either of y'all want to come up. Oh, I see video with Kim. So guess what? You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
And can I just say something too?
Yeah.
I talk to people all day long, and the big question I get is like, how do I get in sync with the algorithm? And I think the algorithm scares people. Like it's this big brother that's looking over your shoulder, and if you don't do things right, it's going to shadow ban you and you're never going to be seen again. All the algorithm is, it's very individualized. And all it is being aligned with your audience. So if you are aligned with your perfect audience, people who are looking at your stuff, YouTube will push it out. It's not like, you know, this straight line where if you do exactly the same thing as this channel does, you're going to get pushed exactly the same to the same results. It's just finding your ideal audience. So the purpose of a lot of the things that we train on and a lot of the lists that we give, the examples that we give, it's a pushing off point so that you can first, you know, start bringing a few people to your channel, but then from that point, start to kind of curate and create your own ideal audience. So that's why you need to become, the people who are the most successful on YouTube are obsessed with their audience. They're obsessed with learning who their audience is, what their audience thinks about, what their audience is doing, you know, as they're moving to these new areas, what they're searching for. If you're obsessed with that, like, I mean, we've been doing a ton of growth on our team. But Levi is still on the channel constantly looking at the analytics. I mean, I can't think of a single day that he hasn't pointed something out on the channel that he's been looking at the back end on.
That's for sure.
You know, there's just so much going on the channel that you could be, you know, diving into your own analytics. If you are obsessed to that point, you're going to learn your audience so well that it's going to be effortless for you to create the videos that bring the audience in for you. So that's what I would say, rather than worrying so much about doing it perfectly or, you know, not messing up with the wrong video. I would say make as many mistakes as you can. Make as much content as you can. Find what works and become obsessed with that process, and you're going to be successful. Nothing can stop you at that point.
Mic drop.
Yeah. And I was about to say, our number one video, you go on our Dallas channel, it's the We Can't Stand Dallas with Travis and I. It's, you know, it's about to hit 70,000 views, and and we've got audio problems in that, you know, the thing is that's the time whenever I was still learning lav mics, which we have on now, and these lav mics had channels, like walkie-talkie channels, and I didn't realize, well, when you have two people, you should be on two separate channels versus the same channel. So here I am, I'm like messing around with this stuff. You'd think I'd watch a YouTube video before doing it, but also Travis walked in. I wasn't planning on him to walk in while I was filming the video. We just kind of went with it. So it was like, okay, get him mic'd up.
You want a mic?
Yeah, we get on there, get mic'd up, and then whenever I did that, it cut out my audio on, or basically canceled out the audio on my mic. So our number one viewed video, I can't stand it from the, I mean, I hear it, but the thing is that the viewers, a lot of
They
them
love it.
Yeah, they love it. Nobody said terrible audio, I can't stand you guys.
Yeah.
Most people are not as detail focused as we are on ourselves. And so therefore everything we notice, a lot of people will be like, I never even noticed that, but now that you pointed that out, your left ear is way bigger than the right ear, So people sit here and go, "Oh, I don't want to be on camera because my left ear is giant."
Are you talking about me, bro?
No,
my left ear is bigger.
No, my left ear is
my
bigger.
left ear is bigger.
No, my left ear is bigger.
All right.
So, no, I'm just.
I
But the
thought he
thing
was
is
hating
that
on me over here.
most people don't know that until you point that out. So the thing is that if you don't address it and you just work to correct that issue later on, then it's a matter of that. So, Kim, I hope you're ready. I don't know. It looks like you're running around the house cleaning up. Are you ready? You sitting down? Are you ready to come? All right. I see some smiles. Let's see. All right.
I'm ready.
Oh, what's up? How are you? Where are you from?
I am down here in Southwest Florida.
Okay.
So I am like Fort Myers, close to Naples, areas like that.
Okay, cool.
I am brand new. This is all new, and I'm not techie.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah, well, neither are us.
Me either.
Us
So
neither.
right now, I'm at this point, I am so spastic with what I'm doing. Like, I'm going and shooting a video of this, and a video of this, and a video of this, and I have to bring myself back in. Like, wait a minute, this is going crazy. Any suggestions for that right now?
Yeah, hey, at least you're doing it. I mean, I think we're all spastic in the beginning, It's just
Oh, thank God.
yeah. Trust me, I was running around, first doing vlog tours, thinking to myself sometimes, what am I doing? This is silly, right? Or sometimes I don't talk about this because I cannot advocate for anybody doing what I do as far as like filming driving footage. You have to figure out the safest way for you to do that, which my recommendation would be getting a dashboard mount and something, mounting your camera up there so you can capture some of that driving footage. I'm a little bit more of a freestyler, but at the same time, sometimes I catch myself. I'm like, this is a little silly, but at the same time, this is one of the most watched parts of the videos. When I go back and look in analytics, there's a lot of spikes whenever we do driving footage. So, the thing is that the more you do it, you get that process, just like we were talking about with Allison. It just becomes muscle memory, really, is what it comes down to.
Yeah. If I may, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir, please.
What's your calendar look like?
Open, very open.
So, I would highly, highly, highly suggest that you get very strict on your calendar. This is going to be a game changer for you. And as you get busier and busier and busier, you're going to have to be more and more strict with your calendar. Me and Levi's calendars, we both do very different things within the company, but we're both very packed out all day, every single day. And the only way that we can get things done effectively and efficiently and on time is because we're very strict with our calendar. So, if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there, right? So you need to understand and figure out what your goals are, right? The first thing that I would say is batch record content, right? Go out there and practice, get a month's worth of content down and then get it edited. And then you can work on things, kind of in between, but at least you can get ahead of the game. And the more you do it, you're going to get better and better and better. Like now, I was so embarrassed and so silly. I couldn't even get, the first 30 seconds right when I first started. But now, me and Alex went and did a luxury tour the other day and pretty much did it in one take, the whole thing. No problem, ran through the whole thing. But that's because we've done it for a year now, you know what I'm saying? And Levi has a lot more experience, but you need to make sure that, you know where you're going and that you have that on your calendar. And I just think that that's going to be the best play for you. So that way you're not so, all over the place. Figure out where you're comfortable first. I don't know if you're using our editing services right now, or if you're using your own editing, services, but I would certainly get your content done and just batch record that. And that's a really good place to start. Then you can spend more time in the course figuring out the next thing, but spend a Sunday, and sit down and plan out your whole week. Like, when do you have your calls? Like, when are you doing your prospecting, right? You're going to have to prospect at the same time you're videoing. But, when you put that time on the calendar to go video, okay, I'm going to block off 4 hours on Friday to go video. Okay, cool. Now that's one step, but what videos am I going to go shoot? And then put, 2 or 3 videos that you're going to go shoot on Friday, and nothing gets in the way. No clients, no family, no nothing. I got 2 little kids, and I got to, I have to be really strict with my calendar so that way I can spend quality time with them. And when I'm not with them, I can grind it out. So that's just my little 2 cents on, I think, helping, kind of get things under control for yourself.
No, that sounds great. Thank you.
My pleasure.
And I will just, I would say, while you said you have more of an open calendar, still going back to like what Travis said, maybe work on being consistent over the next couple of weeks, maybe filming something every day. You don't have to, because if you film 2 or 3, if you try to do 2 or 3 videos in one day, that works really well when you become proficient and busy. So right now, if you have a little bit more of an open calendar, if you film 1 video a day for 7 days, you only have to publish 2 or 3, and then now all of a sudden in 1 week, you've got 2 to 3 weeks worth of content. And then the next week you do a video every day, and now you got 14 pieces of content, but you're publishing 2 or 3. And now you've got 3 to 4 weeks of content. And so you can continually stack up, and that's going to relieve pressure, relieve stress. You're not going to worry about, okay, where's my next video coming from? And then that you can get so far ahead if you have a little bit more of an open calendar. And then if you do this daily, I think that's going to help you just get a lot more proficient, comfortable. And then whenever clients start coming in, then you may end up spending a day with the client. You can't film that day, but okay, so then do you film 2 videos the day before or 2 videos the day after? Or, are you now scheduled out and feel comfortable enough to where you want to do 3 or 4 in one day, and then knock that down to 1 day a week, or doing one day every other week. And then you start to just develop a schedule that adapts to you. And I've adapted my schedule or changed it several times based on, what's the best fit for me. So now it's just, you find that rhythm and flow.
Okay. That sounds great. That's going to be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
For now. I'll catch you next time.
All right. Yep, you got it. Okay. All right. Well, Lori Lynn, we'll get you up here. Let's see. Get Kim back in there. And here we go. What's up, Lori Lynn? How are you doing?
I'm good. First of all, let me tell you guys, I am in the hardest area. I'm in Los Angeles. As you know, everybody's moving out of here.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't given up hope. I have a very strong spiritual belief. And, every now and then I'll get down, but I know this is going to work. I started filming back in November, December. I did not start airing till April 1st.
Okay.
Exactly 3 months to the day, I got my first comment. It was
right.
for a rental, and that's okay. Rentals turn into purchases.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've gotten 2 more comments. Somebody telling me what a great information it was. Another person telling me their sad story about living here and couldn't afford it, and they went somewhere else and they appreciate it. So those things, they're going to start rolling. I would love to see my subscriber count grow, but it did go from 1 to 29 in, 3 months.
Okay.
My views are really good. I can't complain about that. And I just know because of the fact I'm in LA, it is going to take a little bit more time than some of these other cities. I think I've done what Travis has done. Levi. I was a techie to start with, but I live on YouTube. I live on TubeBuddy. I am constantly looking at Levi and Travis's videos to see what I can change, what I can tweak. I look at the competition. Sometimes I feel like I sit in this chair too much and get sucked into my computer doing research. I pretty much do all my optimization because I love it. I do a little editing, but I do have an editor. And now I'm in the process of making tweaks and changes. Like I found one of my very first videos was so horrible and I had hardly any hits on it. So I just refilmed it and now it's doing well.
Oh, yep.
So you can do those things.
There, absolutely. How many videos are you doing per week?
I was doing 3,
Okay.
and because I had such a big backlog, And then I got a little lazy, and then I got laryngitis and was down for 2 weeks and ran out. So I backed off to 2. And now I'm going to shoot again tomorrow. And now I'm starting with, I've looked at my top 3 cities that are just killing it. And when I say killing it, I'm talking 100 views or more. For me, I think that's good. I'd like to have 1,000, but you've got to also look at where you live.
Yep.
And now I'm breaking it down to the neighborhoods. And I'm going to do each neighborhood individually, and then I'm going to make them one, probably 20-minute content, and then take each one of them and break them down into shorts. So at least I've got a little bit of both.
Yeah. No, it's a great plan. And also think about, maybe even think about mentioning, in the videos, hey, if you live in Los Angeles, because a lot of times, because like you said, if Los Angeles is not it's a huge market, it's one of the biggest markets, but at the same, if the thing with gathering the local business initially, it is more challenging in the beginning because most people don't go onto YouTube that live in their area to research their area, right? And so that's something that, talk to local homeowners as well. So it's just simply as adding that language in, which, hey, if you're thinking of moving to, or if you actually live here in, Chino Hills.
Are you watching my video, Levi?
Well, sometimes I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I just changed my verbiage.
Okay.
About a month ago. And I say, if you're thinking about moving to Los Angeles, if you live outside of the state of Los Angeles, if you live in the state of California, even if you live in LA County and you're thinking you want to move to Culver City, hey, reach out, give us a call, blah, blah, blah. So I did change that about a month ago to all 3 because people do move within here more than they do coming outside of the state.
Yeah.
So I thought I need to start including all the people in California and then the people here in the county.
Yeah. Perfect.
My views have gone up. It's just a matter, I'm here waiting, and I figure I better film as much as I can and get it in my bank so that when it does start hitting and gets busy, then at least I've got it in the bank there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's awesome. So
the only issue I'm having, and I love hearing everybody's stories. Of course, I get jealous. That's natural. But the only thing I have issues with is sometimes YouTube, I started out with, how you put shorts and you put the hashtag mark after your shorts. And your playlist all show on your YouTube channel. Mine don't. You have to click playlist to get all the playlists. And I'm like, how do I get all that to show? And sometimes it won't put my shorts in shorts.
Okay. Well, that's in... So a couple of things on that. Make sure that you go into the modules in building the channel. We talk about the playlist in there. So you do have to have them displayed if you want them to show up on your homepage. So there's a setting for that, number 1. And number 2, shorts, just make sure they have to be, we say less than 58 seconds because 59 seconds could get tagged as a minute. If it does that, you'll see it. Clearly it has to be vertical format. I think now it should pick it up. It used to, you used to have the hashtag in the title. That's not the case anymore. It's just if it's 58 seconds or less, the vertical format, it's going to get picked up as a short. I haven't heard of any, as long as those 2 parameters are being done, I haven't heard of anything outside of that, any reason that it wouldn't get published as a short. So just keep an eye on that. But then, definitely check out the adding the playlist to your homepage.
Okay, I had never put the hashtag in until I read it last week. And I also, one of my playlists is, I call it LA Adventures, things to do in LA. So if I'm out doing something fun, I'll do a quick clip and it's part of my playlist. And I'd never put the hashtag in there and it went to my shorts. And then when I started putting the hashtag in there, it didn't. And I thought, I need to get rid of that.
Yeah, I don't think
YouTube does.
Yeah, I don't think the hashtag matters anymore.
I don't think so either. YouTube does say they typically will add anywhere from 2 to 5 seconds more onto your video. So yeah, definitely make it way less than 1 minute.
Yeah, of course.
That's good to know about.
Yeah,
I couldn't figure that one out.
And we've seen, the 15-second or less shorts, typically, those are the ones that will get spit out a lot, and they can gain a lot of views. So if you want to try to grab some traction that way, think about what interesting fact or thing you can throw out there in 15 seconds or less. So that's something too. I mean, that's just addition too. Now, what I would do is that when you're out in that neighborhood, think about it. Be like, okay, now you can clearly chop content from your long form content. So you make a 10-minute video. Clearly, you can make 10 1-minute videos as long as you have good starting and ending points. However, content that's creative natively for the specific use, which means if you want to post on Instagram, the best way is to film specifically for Instagram, or even TikTok, versus trying to film for TikTok and then publishing on Instagram. It still works, but still, I think now, so if you're out in a neighborhood shooting a vlog, once you do that clip, you do a 3 to 5 minute clip there, just stop and say, okay, how could I break that down into 3 little 1-minute segments, and then actually just film those on their own, even though it's repetition, that gives you, I think, it just makes it a little bit more natural, but also it takes it out, and then you don't have to worry, especially if you're working on some of your editing yourself, you don't have to go back through and try to cut out every little thing. You could, and if you did that 3 or 4 times, if you end up filming 3 or 4 clips in neighborhoods, you could walk away with 10 to 12 shorts, while you're out at the same day. Yeah.
No, I thank you guys for that. Tomorrow's going to be my first shot at doing that. So I'm spending the whole day up there doing the neighborhoods, and I've taken anybody that's got like 80 plus views, and I'm seeing them grow. I'm taking those suburbs and going into those cities and breaking those neighborhoods down, because that's where I'm getting the traction.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, excited and looking forward to hearing about some more successes there.
Me too.
All right. Anything else we can help you out with?
That's it for now.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to run over here to the chat real quick. Let's see. We got, hey, Gabby. Is that our Gabby? Chrissy? Oh, that is? Okay, cool. I got to look at the icons. Let's see here. Who else we got? Meredith. Oh, yeah. Hey, Meredith. That's you. You commented back there. Meredith, yeah, I saw her living in Greensboro. Yep. Hey, Meredith. Good to see you here. Let's see. I think I saw a couple of questions. Let's see. When starting out, how many sessions/week should someone starting out in this program book off for the Calendly appointments, and how long are they? So, I think you open up your Calendly to where you want to schedule calls. You want to have scheduled calls. So if you're filming Tuesday mornings, clearly don't open up Calendly, because you want to have block time for filming. And then, if you're going to be back in the office in the afternoons, or maybe you're in the office in the mornings, whatever your office time is, or whenever you plan to be around your computer, I think it's always best to try to. Now, we've done Zoom calls in the car, in the airport. Just because sometimes schedules, mainly that's usually our fault for not properly blocking our calendar or something like that. So, you want to be very intentional about that, because ideally being in a nice, quiet, professional environment is going to make that Zoom call a lot smoother. But I would say we blocked off, 45 minutes, and that's the thing, is you don't want people to get too scared either. And you don't want to take up too much of your time. But I would say initially, I think now we probably cut everything down to 30 minutes at the max?
Yeah, most of these phone calls shouldn't take more than 15 minutes. Ideally, if you're, get into the flow of everything. They already know who you are. If they're YouTube leads, they already know who you are. Most of the time for me, it's about a 15-minute call, maybe 30 minutes. I don't usually have calls that go over 30 minutes for sure. Yeah.
So, just think about it. But I would give yourself more time in the beginning, because you'd rather have more time to work with than block off 20 or 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden, especially if you're a talker. Are you a talker, or are you not much of a talker? And then, sometimes you're going to get these clients, they're going to be talkers, because a lot of times they've watched you for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And so whenever they actually get you on there, they're going to be like, hey, man, I love you. And then they're going to be like, remember that video you did 3 months ago and you were over here, and you're going, no, I can't even remember the video I shot last week. But
Yeah.
so they'll start pointing things out. So just, give yourself more time in the beginning, and if you end early, you end early, right? And then once you get a better idea, but I would say probably 30, 45 minutes for the appointment time is really in a sweet spot. What's up, Marina? Your first day of joining the live.
Hey, Marina.
Awesome. Congratulations.
What's up?
Welcome. All right. So Allison came back. I knew we couldn't keep her away for too long. Oh, Meredith, good to see you here. I watched some of your videos. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm obsessed with you. Oh, all right. So Allison is fangirling on Meredith. Yes. Meredith has great videos. She does. She's really, really good. Really, really good. So there you go, Meredith. You got some fans. You got some fans out there. I think that's it. Did I miss anything, Chrissy?
Nope, I think that was all the questions.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'd say that was a successful live today. I got a couple of text messages from people, I guess, secretly watching, saying that picture looks good, sound looks good. I got 1,000,000% better. Yes, 1,000,000%. Hey, I'll take that all day
take that
long.
too.
So, and we're actually still on Wi-Fi. We still haven't even got the Ethernet cord to work here. So this has been pretty good Wi-Fi so far. So, all right. Well, hey, thank y'all for joining us today, and we will see you back here same time, same bat channel. Thank you for joining us on today's podcast. If you're interested in partnering with us to access our YouTube course and coaching all for free, schedule a call at 5starstrategycall.com.